Let us revisit our case of the scores of university students, wherein the passing score was 50 out of 100. Now, based on this data, I would like to know the status of Jade Waters in statistics. So Jade Waters scored 50 in statistics, and I would like to know whether Jade Waters has passed in that subject or failed. So the thing is, what is the status of Jade Waters in statistics? So in order to understand the status of Jade Waters, we say equals the scores of Jade Waters in statistics. Is it greater than or equal to 50? That is what we need to check. Well, it's true. But now I don't want the result to be in the form of true or false. I want it in the form of pass or fail. And how do I get that? Now this is where the if function helps me. Here's what I do. I put if function. Now, any function that you use in Excel, you would notice a small dialog box over here, a small box which indicates which part of the function you are in. For example, if function. Here, we are currently in the logical test area, and then we have value if true and value if false. These are three sections within the if function, and each of these sections are separated by a comma. Now, what do they mean? Here's how I explain or read it out while typing the formula as if I'm talking to Excel. I say, here's what, use the if function. Now, if the scores of statistics of Jade Waters is greater than or equal to 50, comma. Now, what is the value that I need to enter, or what should be done if it is true? Then I say, respond as pass, comma. Now, what if the result is false? Then show it as fail and close the bracket. Now, ensure that whenever you type some text that needs to be displayed in Excel, you put them in double quotes. Generally, whatever text that you need to display on the screen, they have to be there on the double quotes when used within a formula. And here we have pass and fail within the double quotes. Now take a look here. I hit enter and it says pass. So let us try this again on Sam Turner's score in accounting. We see that Sam Turner scored 49 in accounting. Let us see how the result shapes up. So what is the status of Sam Turner in accounting? So we have if 49 is greater than or equal to 50, which we know the result will be false, then what if the value is true? What if the result is true? Then we say type pass, comma, what if the value is false? Then we say type fail. So here we get this. The formula logic has been the same. It's just the comparison expression that we changed. Here it was a true case. As a result, it returned pass. In this case, we had a similar comparison. If true, it would have returned or the value as the result as pass. But now it's resulting as fail because we know that E4 is not greater than or equal to C7, which means the result is false. Now moving on, let us also check whether the student has passed overall, wherein if the student has scored at least 50 in each of the subjects, only then he or she is considered to have passed. Even if they would have failed in at least one subject, overall they would be considered as failed. And how do we do that? Here we'll use a if condition, if function. That's if 60 is greater than or equal to 50. If this is true, then what? Now I need to also compare statistics scores, then accounting and philosophy scores. So now here I'm digging into multiple layers of if condition or if function. Okay, so this is what we call as nesting of functions. Let me type it here. It's called nesting of functions, wherein you have a function within function and another function within that function, and so on. You can have multiple layers of functions. Now here we have if economics is greater than or equal to passing score, comma, what if it is true? If it is true, that means the student has passed in economics. So now check the next one. That is, again, I'll have to put a if function. Now this time to test statistics score, is statistics scores greater than or equal to passing score, comma. Now what if this is true? We enter this phase only when the earlier two comparisons are true, only then we will reach this phase. Now we need to test with accounting. So if the accounting score of 65 is greater than or equal to 50, comma, now what to do? Now test philosophy scores. So if 65 of philosophy, that's Jade Waters' score of 65 for philosophy, is it greater than or equal to 50? What if this is true? Then, now I don't have anything more to compare. And if I reach this particular area, that means the first subject is true. That means greater than 50 or equal to 50. Second subject will also result in true. Third also results in true, and fourth results in true. When all these four conditions are met, that is when you reach this stage and you can give the response as pass. Now here, in case, let's assume the first three subjects result in true, but the last subject results in false. Then in that case, we have pass, and then what if the value is false? We say fail. It will result in fail. Now observe one thing. The moment I close the bracket, this innermost if function's bracket would also go bold for a second and then goes normal. Let me close the bracket and notice that. The moment I close the bracket, this particular bracket also goes bold, which indicates like this bracket belongs to this one. Now if you notice, there are multiple opening brackets, but this is the first closing bracket. So the first closing bracket that you have is for the innermost function. So here, if you have this as true, then that is for accounting, then check for philosophy and return the result as pass or fail. But what if the accounting was not true? So we are in this condition, if function for accounting now, and this is the true case. Now I put a comma, and what if accounting is for false? Then we say return as fail and close the bracket. So with which we have closed the if function for accounting. Literally, we are going backwards. So far, we were first testing economics for to be true, statistics to be true, accounting to be true, and philosophy to be true. Now we are going backward to check what if it is false. So if philosophy is false, mark it as fail. Now go backwards, accounting. If in case accounting results in false, then mark it as fail. And now, comma, again, we are in what if, value if, false. Now this would be for statistics. So we say, if the student has failed in statistics, then respond it as fail and close the bracket. Put a comma again, and now we are for the final if function, that is economics. The moment we close the bracket for this if function, this small box that we see over here will vanish. So even if the student has failed in economics, we type fail and close the bracket. And here we go. That means all the four functions are completed, and we close the bracket and hit enter.